real cases before a real judge.
Plaintiff Barrick Strode was friends with the defendant, and he claims the defendant is like his cleanup crew because he's always getting with the women whom Barrick leaves behind. Barrick rented an apartment with the defendant, but he's suing because he says the defendant stole his rent money and his property. Defendant Kevin Ring admits that Barrick gets women, but says he will get with anything that walks and is willing to hook up with him. Kevin admits that he kept Barrick's rent money, but says it was only because Barrick stole money out of his room. Kevin's countersuing for the remainder of his stolen money.
Start with you.
First of all, Your Honor, you know, like in every group of friends, you got your one friend that always wants to go out, wants to tag along, go to the club with you, always wants to get girls, but never really wants to put in the work. That was this guy. I call him more or less like a cleanup crew. Like whatever, you know, you pull the best ones out, whatever's left over, he'll come in and clean them up.
He get the trickle down.
He gets the trickle downs, you got it. So like I never really seen him with too many females in the apartment. Like the one occasion I did see him, I had walked into the living room. I seen the defendant on the couch. I seen a rather robust female sitting with him. I didn't say nothing. I just went on to my room. I let him mind his business. We all need our own space. We all need to do what we gotta do. Mm-hmm. As far as his character goes, I knew he had like a criminal past. I had heard that he had filled up his gas tank at the Speedway and then drove off and stole the gas, and then the police had been called, and when they got behind him, he evaded them, led them on a high-speed chase, and eventually ended up going behind the high school that was letting off a soccer team of kids, and ended up getting like 15 to 20 charges of child endangerment.
Defendant Kevin Ring is being sued by his former roommate, who claims Kevin stole his rent money and his sound system.
You want to give me some background before we get to the money and the property he's suing you for?
Yes, sir. First of all, he's the type of guy that messes with anything that walks, he messes with.
So that's why he's so successful.
Yeah, yeah. He don't care what they look like. As long as they give it up, he'll take it. Like one time I lived by myself, we was over there playing PlayStation and stuff. He was like, hey man, can I use your laundry room? And I'm like, yeah, go ahead. So a girl comes in, they don't even say nothing, go in the laundry room. 3 minutes later, they come out, sit there, and she leaves. I'm like, dang, you could fold my laundry or something while you was in there. But they didn't.
Hold on, what do you think they did in the laundry room?
I don't know what they done. I mean, he asked me if they could.
Yeah,
how? Because he told me. He said, can I go have sex with this girl in the laundry room?
And did he tell you he was a 3-minute man before he went in?
I mean, my laundry room was like right off my...
I know, but you say it came out in 3 minutes.
Yes, it wasn't much more.
Okay.
I mean, I was sitting in the room. He had to come out.
Did this happen?
No, sir. And if it would have happened, it would have been well over 3 minutes.
Okay, all right.
He's lying.
Go ahead.
He's lying. But anyway, he don't do nothing but drink all day and mess with... I mean, yeah, he's got girls, but I mean, you can't count them for nothing.
Do you work?
Yes, sir. I work with special needs.
Oh, good.
About 2 times a month.
He says I don't work. He says I don't work because his job's more physically demanding than mine. Mm-hmm. I get 40 hours a week.
Okay.
Because he fills out his own schedule.
Let's get to the stolen property and money you're suing him about.
Okay, the defendant and I had met, we had known each other, and he was living with his brother previously, and I was trying to get out my living situation. So we felt like it'd be a good idea if we both went half on an apartment together. So we moved in to a 2-bedroom apartment. I would give him my half of the rent to give to the landlord. May comes around and I give him my $180 for the rent. Mm-hmm. This is May 4th. The rent's due May 5th. Mm-hmm. He tells me he's moving out in May. The defendant's had enough. He's moving out at the end of May, and I've paid May's rent. On the 12th, the landlord calls me and tells me that the rent hasn't been paid and it needs to be paid.
And when you spoke with him, what did he tell you?
I texted him immediately. He says, I'm putting the money order in right now. I have the text message where he said, I'm putting the money order in.
And the property you allege he stole?
The property, I was at the beach. Come home from the beach, I end up going into my car. I popped my trunk and my system's been stolen. I actually started my car and drove off. I had no thump in my trunk, wasn't nothing beaten. That's the first thing I do. I turn my music up.
So he stole your speakers?
He stole my speaker system.
All right, and what was that worth?
That was worth $380.
All right, you confront him about that?
Yes, sir. I asked him about it, and he said he had no recollection of it. I filed a police report. I have that police report.
What did they determine?
The police report determined that there was no broken entry, and I did have a spare key in my bedroom. And when I got back from the beach, it was obvious that somebody had been in my bedroom. And also, I have a message from the defendant's own brother that says he admitted that
You have that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Sir, let me hear from you.
First of all, he's lying. The 180 I did keep because I came home one day and I ain't got a bank account. I left all my money in a shoebox in the bottom of my closet. I had $350 in there. I came home one morning to put more money in there, and I could tell my door had been ajar. So I went in my room and I started searching all my valuable. I opened the thing and all my money was gone. And I said, well, I'll give you a 180 when my 350 shows back up.
Defendant Kevin Ring is being sued by his former roommate, who claims Kevin stole his rent money and his sound system.
All right. What about the property?
I have nothing, nothing about
No knowledge of it?
No, at
I
all.
have text messages.
But also, we do have another roommate that lived there, and he moved in February. And I was at work, and he tried to call me to ask me to move in. I didn't answer, so he had called him, and he let him the one
So
stay
your only
there.
defense to paying the $180 that you owe is that he stole $350 from you.
Yes, and I told him, you give me
$170. And that's your
$170.
counterclaim. Was the other roommate living there when he allegedly stole your $350?
Yes.
So it could have been the other roommate that stole
No,
your $350.
because he had stuff coming up missing too. So, I mean, it wouldn't make sense for us to steal back from each other.
You could have stole from him.
No.
Your brother is saying he wants to look like a fool, so man, stand up and fight for what is right. I have been told that you stole from him. That's why your speakers got taken. Kevin will lie to look good. He thinks this will make him famous. To come on here and lie will make him famous. This is your brother saying.
Yeah.
Your brother is saying that you told him that you stole.
We don't even talk. He's lying.
All right, this is you also. I just bought the money order, but I can give it back to you. I can put it in the mail. You're telling this to you?
He's telling me that he sent the money order over.
But your defense today is the reason I didn't send in the money order or the money is because he stole yours.
Yeah, I was sending it.
But that had already occurred.
Me and the landlord couldn't meet up because he was in Pennsylvania.
You had already believed by May 14th that he had stolen your money.
The day he texted and said, hey, I need that 180, 4 days prior to that's when I found out about the
break-in.
The break-in in my room.
Right. He had broken into your room and stolen your money 3 days before you promised to pay him. You don't promise to pay someone who has stolen from you. Your Honor, I'm not paying him because he stole from me. Well, that's not what you said on May 14th. On May 14th, you said it's in the mail.
Is the
635 is your judgment, sir. His brother says that he stole the property from you. He has contradicted himself today. You don't tell a person who you knew stole from you 3 days earlier, your check is in the mail. I believe I owe you. No, this is your defense today, and that defense fails, and it's your counterclaim, and that counterclaim fails. Your claim is dismissed, and yours is granted. Have a good day.
Thinks he's too cool for school, but he's not.
I'm too cool for school.
Yeah, he's not. He's an idiot.